Yes, the Bible is actually quite silent about the day or the time of the year when Mary was said to have given birth to Jesus. But the Bible is also quite loud and detailed about the manner of his birth, the place of his birth, the social political events surrounding the birth of Jesus Christ. In fact, we have very specific details such as the mention of what the baby was wearing, the swaddling clothes, where he slept, the manger, and so on. So while we do not know the exact date of the birth, we do know a lot about his birth. Around 8200, theologians believed spring to be the most likely time of Jesus' birth. And this is based on the mention of the shepherds watching their flock at night. Now, the argument is the Judean winters would be too cold for shepherds to be watching their flock by night. Now, there are others who argue for dates in April and March too. So in 83-85, Pope Julius first declared December 25th as the day for celebrating Christ's birth. And it is said that he chose this date partly to challenge the celebrations of the Roman god Saturnalia, which was characterized by social disorder and immorality. So let's break this question down to two questions for clarity's sake. First is the question, is Christmas an extension of ancient Roman religious practice? And the answer is no. Christmas is about celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Christians believe that in Christ God entered the human race. In fact, the glory of Christmas is in the fact that the Creator entered his creation. Word became flesh and dwelt among us. So Christmas is the celebration of the coming of the Messiah. The second question, does Christmas traditions have association to ancient Roman practices? Yes, some of them. Like the bells, candles, Yule, decorations, etc. For example, take the ringing of the bells. The ringing of the bells was generally thought to have had its origins to pagan practices and was used to drive out evil spirits. But in the later centuries, bells were rung on Christmas Eve to welcome the spirit of Christmas with joyful noise. And thus the ringing of the bells were disassociated from the driving of the evil spirit, and it was associated to celebrating the coming of Jesus into the world. So at the time of Christ, the Roman culture already celebrated a holiday in December called a Saturnalia, which honored the god Saturn and was celebrated from December 17th to about December 24th. A little later, they also began to celebrate what is called as the Sol Invictus, or the unconquered sun, associated with the winter solstice, and this they observed on the 25th of December. So the only commonality Christmas has with the ancient religious celebration is the date, but everything else about the celebration is so distinct from each other in its nature. Well, contrary to mythology, the New Testament deals with actual persons and historical events which are really open to investigation. The stories mentioned in the scriptures happen to real people living in real places. Now, what makes Christ's birth different from mythology, says researcher Gretchen Pesantino, is this, that often in mythology we have tales of lusty gods having forced sex with women. But here in this story, you have a virgin who is willingly conceived by an invisible power of God. Besides, mythologies often give us what is called as half-human or half-divine superheroes subjected to same weaknesses, sins, and frustrations as we all are, says Lee Strobel. But in the Christmas narrative, we have a God who truly incarnates. In fact, the Bible reads it this way, that Jesus emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, being made in human likeness. Now, of course, can we humanly fully comprehend how the Y chromosome was created out of nothing in Mary's ovum? I don't think so. But as William Craig, an expert for scientific evidence for Creator, puts it, he says, if I really do believe in a God who created the universe, then for him to create a Y chromosome would be a child's play. Well, I would think it's a matter of one's choice. Did you know the early Christians did not celebrate or commemorate Jesus' birth in the fashion we do it today? It was only by the 4th century the celebrations began. Yes, the Bible is silent about the exact date of Jesus' birth, but the Bible is also very loud and clear about the events that surrounded the birth of Jesus Christ. Now, this is my view. I think it is good time for us as individuals and as families and as community to celebrate and thank God for the greatest gift given to us. It is a good time to proclaim the Messiah who came as a babe and became one among us, so that he may show us the way to God. As C.S. Lewis rightly said, the Son of God became a man to enable men to become sons of God. This event of God becoming man, God incarnate, must be celebrated. Remember, what we value, we celebrate. What we celebrate, we value.